At this point, I'd have to assume that you have some basic map reading and some basic land navigation skills, the ability to use a compass to follow a given azimuth, determine what an azimuth is. What will help you with this particular, kind of thing that you're trying to do, which is move from point A to point B as quickly as possible. There are a number of navigational aids that can speed up that process so that you're basically not face down in a compass moving from point A to point B all the time. That does take a little bit of time. So these navigational aids that I'm going to share with you are, think of those as added to your basic skills to make them that much better. So if you're doing a dead reckoning, placing that azimuth into your compass and then following it along a route, a given route, it's a little bit slow. You're keeping track of your pace. You're very finite on your measurement of that angle with the azimuth and the compass. And it does take a little bit of time. And the further you are off course, that starts compounding. So if you're trying to get from point A to point B, the farther that distance is, the more you are off on that azimuth, the more inaccurate you become. And the further away from that point you actually go, you'll offshoot it to the right, you'll offshoot it to the left. It's effective for a land navigation course, but when you're moving cross country trying to cover terrain quickly, you want to kind of get past that, but have that as a baseline. So some of the things that you can use I'm going to show you some navigational aids that you can use to kind of enhance that and make it that much easier. And this is what we used in special operations. So it's a quick way to cover a lot of distance rather accurately. Whenever I look at an area that I'm trying to travel through, we'll say, point A to point B. This rosette right here we'll talk about, but just ignore that for now. If I want to get from point A to point B, if I were to plot a route that takes me over the terrain, has different checkpoints, and really relies on me being accurate with that compass, then I have to kind of take it slow. What I can do is look at this route as a corridor, and I'm still trying to get from point A to point B. So the navigational aids that I want to talk to you about establishing, and the way I look at it when I'm looking at a route, is the first thing I establish is a baseline. And in this case, my baseline to my south is an improved road and a trail system that comes across. What a baseline is it establishes a prominent feature that I can't miss, that I know not to go across. All right, so that kind of boxes me into my corridor to the south in this example. The second thing that I'm going to look for is called a backstop. All right, a backstop prevents me from going too far past the point I'm trying to get to, and it boxes me in to the north. In this case, it's this unimproved road right here that comes across. All right, so with my baseline established and my backstop established, I've boxed myself in to the north and to the south. The next navigational aid I'm going to look for are called handrails. You could think of them as your left and right limits or your east and west limits. So I'm going to look for a prominent feature, typically it's a linear feature, that will kind of box me in to the corridor. Over here in the west, I've got this gas pipeline that runs through here, and I've already done a reconnaissance of this area, so I know what these features are. That gas pipeline is probably 30 feet wide. You could probably drive 2 vehicles down it, but it's all grass. But it's completely clear, can't miss it. If I come out of this onto that, I'll know it. All right, but that's a prominent feature that basically boxes me in to the west and keeps me from going out of my corridor. Over here to the east, my east handrail is this intermittent stream that turns into a more prominent, more permanent stream that goes all the way up to my backstop. Right? That is my right limit. That's my eastern limit. That keeps me from leaving this corridor, this box that I'm trying to create, to the east. Just at no point in my navigation should I ever cross my backstop, my handrails, my baseline, my handrails, or my backstop. So that establishes a corridor that I can work in. So what that allows me to do is moving from point A to point B, instead of having my face in the compass, is I can get a general direction with the compass from here to here, but I'm not going to walk that, right? I'm going to be using the terrain to my advantage. I'm going to be taking more advantageous trails. I'm going to be doing whatever I have to do to get there quickly, and I'm going to cover ground quickly. It's kind of a set it and forget it kind of thing. I'm going to go in that direction, and I'm going to make sure I don't bounce or make sure I don't cross anything, and I'm just going to go. All right.